Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and it's time for another hot jam. Here's a headline from You Today. Ripple's Stuart Alderodi explains how United States can implement crypto regulations. Things be moving forward. As I always say, I could not be more thankful that there's at least one adult in the room, and it's Ripple. And the rest of the world of blockchain, I mean, there are only so many. There's far more down with banks, down with the government types of people than would be optimal, I would say. But of course, as the rest of the world gets involved in crypto, it's going to be a bunch of normies, and it's going to be okay. Like, that's the percentage of those types of people. It's going to continue to decrease. And just in a percentage basis, I don't have data on this, but it has to be the case. How could it not be the case that today there's a much lower percentage of those types of people than were in, say, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago? That would certainly be my guess. So I'm going to be running through the specifics here. I've also got a story about Ripple founder Chris Larsen sending himself 75 million XRP. Ooh, how about that? And I'll wrap up the video with this piece from CoinDesk, unrelated but interesting nonetheless. I mean, you're all going to recall that Ripple was hacked, their Twitter account hijacked to promote a Bitcoin scam, and I've been providing updates because this is just, it's really an impressive, and I don't mean that like some sort of positive way, it's like an impressive feat that was undertaken here, hijacking such tremendous, noteworthy individual and business accounts. I mean, you're talking about like Joe Biden. I think Barack Obama's account was hijacked. Apple, like, there are all sorts of major corporations. And so here's the headline with the latest on this one. Twitter says phone spear phishing let hackers gain employee credentials. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate it. But don't get all smashy with that. Just a little delicate adult-style tap will do. And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because why the hell not? I mean, come on. Treat yourself, girl. You definitely deserve this. All right, so the United States is lagging other world leaders when it comes to comprehensive cryptocurrency regulations. I don't think that there are a whole lot of people out there disputing that, right? It's kind of surprising, though, because the United States took charge when it came to the development and evolution of the internet. And now with a major revolution taking place on a global scale today, the United States appears comparatively apathetic, considering the way that they behaved, especially think back even just to the mid-'90s, when there were even people calling for the internet to be, like, if not put to a halt, then heavily, insanely regulated. There were those out there because there were all sorts of fears about what would it do if you open up information to everybody. You're talking about the sum of, like, effectively the sum of all human knowledge available just a few keystrokes away. But to some people, that was kind of scary. And you see those types of weird claims even today with crypto. Oh my gosh, magic internet money that the government can't control. What about illicit, nefarious activities taking place with it? And so it's a similar, like, there are so many fascinating parallels between the development of the internet and cryptocurrency from a technical perspective, regulatory perspective, and also even in terms of price action. Now, obviously, we're talking about cryptocurrencies here, which are effectively money, or at least that's purportedly what they are, in some instances at least. And so it's not surprising that, given that this was the dawn of like an entirely new asset class, the price action has been even more nuts for this compared to the dot-com boom and bust, but still here. So yeah, I would say that it's fair to say that the United States has a little bit of catching up to do. But Ripple's Stuart Alderodi outlined the path that the United States can take to catch up with the rest of the world. And I happen to live in the United States in the good old Midwest, so given that's the case, I hope they do. I really hope they do. Just a little ethnocentrism at play there. But while echoing numerous Ripple executives, Alderodi notes that American regulators have been treating the cryptocurrency industry differently compared to the internet in the 1990s. Instead of a hands-off approach which birthed such internet giants as Google and Facebook, United States watchdogs scrutinized digital assets. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC for short, didn't rush to introduce new crypto regulations while applying its 74-year-old securities law to define digital assets. And as I've stated in the past, to me that was always completely insane. What other assets can go from being decentralized to centralized and vice versa? There's no regulation that accounts for that important distinction yet. We're going to use these old laws, 74 years old, to and just shoehorn all the cryptocurrencies into this framework. It doesn't make any damn sense here. But that's the approach that Jay Clayton with the SEC has made clear that he wants to take. But the piece continues. Even though reining in the ICO craze was a necessary step, Ripple routinely urged the regulator not to paint all coins with a broad brush. While the SEC confirmed that Bitcoin and Ethereum were not securities, there is no clarity surrounding XRP, the token promoted by Ripple that became the subject of multiple class action lawsuits against the company. So what can be done? Well, Alderodi notes and claims that this predicament can be solved by Congress passing sensible laws, thus keeping regulatory agencies in check. He also proposed the SEC to jointly create a framework for protecting the cryptocurrency market together with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. While praising SEC's Crypto Mom, which I still think is a weird nickname, Hester Pierce for her safe harbor proposal, he also noted that the U.S. had to act quickly in order not to lose dominance to China. And here's a quote from him. "It's bad enough if the United States were to cede a competitive edge to the likes of the UK, Japan, or Singapore. It would be a disaster if the United States were to let Communist China take control of this technology. Unfortunately, that is exactly where the industry seems to be heading." Well, I'll tell you what, you can call me a shovel because I dig it. He's on the right track here. I just wish that more action would be taken, but hey, all good things in time, right? On to this next piece now. What's Chris Larsen doing, founder of Ripple? Well, according to the data shared by the XRPL monitor on Twitter, around 14 hours ago, Ripple co-founder and its former CEO Chris Larsen transacted 75 million XRP to an anonymous wallet. That's worth about, at the time of writing anyway, $19.9 million. A further analysis of addresses on the analytics website BitHump shows that the anonymous wallet Larsen had sent the crypto to was also set up by him. Chris Larsen is still a board member of Ripple, so one of the possible explanations here is that this way the large amount of XRP was sent to an institutional investor, Ripple's partner, or was otherwise used by Larsen. So, in short, no idea, right? Earlier, he was already spotted sending the same amount of 75 million XRP to his other wallet, and back then, some of the XRP community assumed that he was merely shifting his own funds from one wallet to another. Who knows? Maybe it was something as simple as a security reason, but lots of XRP moving around against this backdrop of insane price action as of late. XRP up in the last video I made put out yesterday. In 30 days, XRP's up. I'm going to pull from memory here, but it's like 65% in 30 days. I know what I hate, and I don't hate that. But here's XRP charts, and you can see this is the actual transaction. 75 million XRP, with all sorts of ledgers being closed to the left. All right, so on to this piece now from CoinDesk. Twitter says phone spear phishing let hackers gain employee credentials. Twitter revealed that a number of employees fell victim to a phone spear phishing attack and a new update on how its systems were compromised in the social media giant's largest hack to date on July 15th, according to a blog post shared Thursday. So I appreciate that there's increasing levels of transparency on this. I think people want to know and rightfully deserve to know exactly what happened here. Even though Twitter is one of the victims along with everybody else who had their account hacked. But a spear phishing attack is a targeted attempt to steal information such as account details or financial information from a particular individual, in this case, Twitter employees, via their phones. The success of the hack hinged on two key factors. That the hackers gained access to Twitter's internal network, and that they obtained the credentials from specific Twitter employees. The credentials of the employees provided God mode access to Twitter's internal support tools, a blockchain startup Make Sense Labs CTO Ben Sigmund previously told CoinDesk. According to Twitter, not all employees that had been targets of the phishing attack had the necessary permissions to use account management tools. The hackers instead gained access to Twitter's internal systems and discovered further information relating to the social media giant's processes, allowing the hackers to target employees who did have that access to support management tools. The New York Times previously reported that the hackers found additional credentials in the company's Slack server. The hackers targeted 130 Twitter accounts, tweeting Bitcoin giveaway scams and accessing the DM inbox from 36 accounts, including CoinDesk's. Twitter said the attack relied on a significant and concerted effort to mislead particular employees and exploit human vulnerabilities in order to gain access to its platform. Since the hack, Twitter said it has significantly limited access to its internal support management tools to ensure ongoing account security while it finalizes its investigation. For the time being, features such as its Your Twitter data and processes have been impacted by the limitation of its tools. A detailed technical report on the hack is expected to be released at a later date as Twitter awaits ongoing law enforcement investigations and further work to safeguard its platform. It's astonishing to me that somebody was able to pull this off. And I reported yesterday, too, in case you missed it, you might find this fascinating. Who was responsible for this? Well, a 17-year-old from Florida was arrested, apparently the mastermind behind this. There could have been other people involved, but apparently it was primarily just this one 17-year-old that pulled all this stuff off. So what a terrible human. So he's going to go to jail for a long time. In Florida, apparently, it's just highly likely with the way that the laws are set up in that state that he's going to be tried as an adult, even though he's not 18. So how about that? As my grandpappy used to say, people are no damn good. That's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!